Prostitution, I see Mr. All Even in NYC. He's so big. They call him boss. He's a boss. All even. He's so bad.
All Even Podcast. You already know it's going down tonight. You can catch me on Instagram at All Even Podcast.
Coffee smelling right.
TikTok at All Even Media. Facebook, Barry Graham Jr. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend because the page is growing.
Please.
YouTube's over here taking videos off my page. Listen, we doing a lot to ruffle feathers because I'm not here to play. I'm not here for the bitch assness. Not at all. Not at all. So lots to get into. We're going to talk about 49ers owner Jed York. Man was a freak. You got Shedeur and Deshaun Watson. That situation. No more Pro Bowls. It's great. So we're going to discuss that. ZaDarius Smith. He returns back to NFL football with the Falcons, and he had a great story. We want to talk about that as well. The sad story of Kyle Singler. We want to get into that. Lonzo Ball talking about his dad and that dynamic in regards to his career. We're going to discuss that as well. The Major League Baseball owners have proposed a free agent frenzy. We're going to discuss that. Irrelevant news of the week. And the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week. So, how do I feel about all of these things? We'll discuss it. But it's another great week. What a time to be alive. Some people can say that, some people can't. So let's just get into it, shall we? Jed York. Listen, sometimes the comedy just writes itself, right? Like, sometimes you want to go ahead and have a script and have all these things happen, and you got to put it here and put it there. It's kind of like a production. You want to make sure everything is great to make it come off as great. The lines got to hit. That's why a comedy show in a studio setting, they got the crowd and the laugh prompts and all that other stuff. It's all designed. But when it happens in real life, no prompts, no studio, no laughter sign, none of that. You come to realize that, dudes is just weird. So Jed York, who is the owner of the San Francisco 49ers, like, you can't make this shit up. The man got caught in a prostitution. And you would think that it'd be like a high-end escort service somewhere in Vegas where it's like a bunny ranch, whatever it was, some illegal bunny ranch he might have got caught in. Nah. Man went on a site that was a whole setup by the cops in some trailer park where he wanted unprotected sex for $160 and was like, yeah, sure, I'm going to pull up. The man pulled up and the cops got him. Got to the car. They had the body cam footage on him. Showed him that he was in a Yankee shirt with some shorts, looking confused. And it's like, my man, like, you literally could have had any type of situation, but you chose to come to the trailer park for $160. It just goes to show you, bro, it doesn't matter what type of dude is out there? They always gonna flock back to the hood to go get that good. It's amazing how stupid and how easily duped men can be when they thinking with the other unit. Like the dude was just like, nah, man, I don't like the big time production anymore. I don't want the lights and the no. I want like missing teeth. I want the real wholesome, real experience. He wanted yuck mouth. Like this is so embarrassing for the 49ers that there's reports that said that he's going to suspend himself. He's not even going to worry about it. It's like, yo, I'm not even going to wait for the NFL to come down with their ruling. I'm just going to suspend myself. That might be the best thing to do, because when you out there paying $160 and get caught, it's not like, you know, there was some text message that dropped. No. You got caught in a ring. Embarrassing, bro. He got a wife. Like, this is something that you don't never live down. And the thing is, here's the funny part, or the not so funny part, is that you do that now, you get caught. Now your wife is going to get you for half, bro. She might stay just because of the situation, right? Just because of the security. But she might leave and take half, all because you wanted to risk it all for $160. Yo, what more is there to say? He's an idiot. He's an idiot. That's what we have to go ahead and just put out there. Jed York is an idiot. Jed York is a billionaire that is not smart. And newsflash, a lot of them aren't. Just because they got money, just because they got status and all that stuff, doesn't mean that they're smart people. They fell into good situations, cool. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're smart. Like, they have common sense, or they have street smarts to really be able to pick up on certain cues and understand what the hell is going on. Nah, he's just a rich white man that thought that he was going to go to the trailer park and get him a good time. And here's the greatest part about it, is that the trailer park, what do you call it? Community or whatever it was. They were just like, yo, we ain't got no dealings with this man. Like, he just pulled up to a spot. But don't try to throw shade at the trailer park community, because we don't condone this type of behavior. He's a freak boy, but we ain't about that. It's like when the trailer park says that we don't want you. But hey, you risk it all. But at the end of the day, we got you. We got you. Unbelievable, bro. These white men, like, I just, you can't write it any other way than just straight comedy. It's embarrassing for him to be able to, I don't even know how he's going to even try to clean this up. There is no cleaning this up. This is a jacket that you're going to wear for the rest of your life. Freak boy went down to the trailer park to go get some yams and got caught. And his wife is probably like, yo, you couldn't just do that. Nah. You wanted that no production, hot muggy trailer, cigarette smoke, maybe a little touch of meth in the air. Whatever floats your boat, bro. Man, this is funny, embarrassing, hilarious, shameful. All of those wrapped into one pleasant package So thank you, Jed York, for being a fucking moron. Moving on. Deshaun Watson being named the quarterback one for the Cleveland Browns. How do I feel about that? According to the reports, they said that Deshaun has had the number one spot pretty much locked up for months now. You know, that's where they were leaning, and Shedeur being the number two. And, you know, if things go bad with Deshaun, they can always pivot to Shedeur. And my thing is that, like, look, we all know who Deshaun Watson is. We all know that he had that horrible press conference. He apologized for it because he just couldn't take the booze. And we'll see what happens. Can he rebound? I mean, there was one point where Deshaun Watson was a pretty good quarterback. There was one point that he was actually good. He was throwing dimes downfield, making plays with his legs, extending plays, passing for over 4,000 yards a season. Like, there was talent there before the whole, situation came up. And there's a lot of people that will never forget that. And hell, why should they? Especially if they're women or if they've had something similar happen to them. Like, why should they make you forget that? Whether you're, found innocent or whatever it is, like if there is some rumblings there, it's always going to stay with you. But outside of that, if your football play is not great, then what do you think they're supposed to do? You're in the last year of your $230 million deal. This is it. Like, if you don't have a good season, you're going to be a backup for the rest of your career. I don't think that there's anybody that's going to give him a shot after this to have a starting position if he does not have a good year this year. It's over. So we'll see what happens. He has the arm, but does he have the command and the maturity to be able to bounce back? Some people, when they get success early on, and then they're hit with some adversity, they never recover. They never rebound. I don't know if that's Deshaun Watson. I'm not going to put that on him. But what we've saw in regards to his production, he hasn't been healthy, can't stay healthy. He missed all of last season. So there's a lot to prove for him. On the Shedeur side of it, I mean, Shedeur just got to sit pretty, man. Sit pretty and watch it unfold, whether the guy has success. If the guy has success and the team is winning, hey, you're a backup on a winning team. Cool. Maybe then you're going to have some value to be able to get traded somewhere else. Or if he completely implodes, you can be the guy to be able to save the day, get him out of there, kick him out of Cleveland, and now you're the guy. So for Shedeur, he's in a good spot. Sit there, go over your playbook, make sure that you excel in practice, make sure that you're taking advantage of every snap that you get, every opportunity that you get in practice, and that's it. You just wait for your time. But when your time does come, you have to execute. You cannot fumble the bag. You got to be accurate. You got to make sure that you're galvanizing the troops. We already know that you know how to handle the press conferences. That's not an issue. But when you get that opportunity on the field, do not relinquish it. So I don't have an opinion on Deshaun Watson. I haven't had an opinion on Deshaun Watson in a very long time. Go out there and play well. Go out there and do something that you haven't done in a very long time. Go out there and show us that you can actually lead a team. That will shock me and impress me. But outside of that, you wanted to go ahead and leave Houston. You wanted to go ahead and go to the Browns. You signed this big deal. Haven't lived up to the contract, not even a little bit. We'll see what you do, buddy. But Cleveland, in regards to their fans, they do not deserve, they don't owe you nothing. They don't owe you anything in regards to being able to cheer you or support you. No. They want to support a quarterback that delivers wins. That's all they care about. So if you can be able to throw for 300 yards a game, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and the team can be able to be 5-1 through the first 6 weeks, then they ain't got no smoke with you. But if you shit the bed, they're coming for your head, period. There's no way to explain this. Either you perform or you get booed off the field. Them booing you or cheering you when you got hurt, that's corny. But in regards to your performance, if you don't perform and they boo your ass off the field, then that's your business. You brought that upon yourself. Because newsflash, he's not that likable of a guy. I'm going to support him. Hopefully he does well. But a spade is a spade in regards to you just not being a likable dude. Sorry, not sorry. Moving on. ZaDarius Smith, 33-year-old linebacker. It's been around for a while. Had to retire early last season. And we really didn't understand why. And he revealed in a press conference as to why he did. And I'm going to play that right now.
Said I wasn't going to tell this story, but I'm going to tell it. Yeah, man. Got a phone call from my mom's doctor telling me that she don't have much longer to be on this earth. So I let the team know. Obviously, they wasn't trying to let me leave, but that was the only thing I had left to retire. So I retired. Dealt with that. After losing my mom, I lost my grandma. Then after my grandma, I just lost my dad. So y'all obviously know what I've been through. But yeah, this is my happy place, man. Come back, play football. I was in a dark place. You know, coming out, running out on the field, you know, the fans, not only just the fans, man, the joy that I get from winning and just getting sacks, you know. So I wasn't supposed to.
So shouts to ZaDarius Smith, man. I mean, you know, as somebody who lost a parent, lost a mom, like that feeling is, there's nothing like it in the world, man. Like feeling like you're an orphan, you know what I mean? Like a boy without his mom, a man without his mom it's a hard road to travel. So I understand the pain that he's going through. And not only to lose his mother, but to lose his grandmother, to lose his father, right? All in a very, very short span of time. I mean, of course he has to go ahead and return to football. They would want him to return to football. And it's also a great, you know, to take your mind off of things and be able to have you refocus on, you know, what you're great at and what you can be able to give back to and put all your focus and your heart and your drive into. Because that pain doesn't go away. You know, people say, oh, you know, time heals all wounds. Not those. You never heal from those wounds. You learn to live with them. You know, the pain never goes away, but you learn how to live and cope with it. Every day I wake up, I still have that pain, that feeling of loss. It stays with you. It's not a haunting thing, but it's always in the back of your mind. Maybe sometimes the forefront of your mind. Certain things you see, hear, music, it sends you back. And it makes you sad. It makes you depressed. And you have to figure out how to deal with that. so you can be able to function. So I know a little bit of what Za'Darius is going through. I don't know the whole thing because we all are different human beings and we deal with grief differently. But I can understand a bit. To be able to lose 3 people in a very, very short span of time, I don't wish that on no man. I don't wish that pain on anybody. So glad that he's back. Let's see if he can be able to contribute to the Falcons this season. I'm sure he is because he's always been a good, very, very good player, very good linebacker. So shouts to him. But it's just that dynamic, man. Just that dynamic of knowing that, you know, he stepped away for something that's important. It's not a lot of people that do that, man. That go ahead and step away from something they love. But he stepped away from something that he loved for someone that he loved. That's huge. That type of sacrifice that you might not have been thinking about retirement, but you go ahead and do it anyway just because it's like, yo, there's no other option here. You know, other people will be, oh, listen, I still got to play. I got to make sure that I go ahead and, you know, I got so many things to achieve. I have so many things to do. I have this contract that I have to honor. Some people just don't care about none of that. They believe that family is way more important than honoring some fucking contract. So I love this from Za'Darius. You know, the fact that he opened up about it too says a lot about a man. You know, a lot of times, like as men, like we internalize the pain and we don't understand how much that affects us mentally, physically, our relationships, everything, our health. So I commend that man to be able to sit there at that podium and be able to say those things. Because I don't even think that the reporters or anybody in the room really expected that. Because they kind of laughed when he was getting into it, and then they realized, oh, snap. This is not a laughing matter. So shouts to him. Shouts to anybody that's going through that type of pain. Just know that, you know, you're not out there suffering alone. Obviously, everybody deals with grief their own way, and I get that. But it's always good to talk about it. It's always good to be able to address it and embrace it rather than internalize it and hurt yourself even more. And find an outlet, find a positive outlet that you can be able to dive into, because that in itself can be life-changing and life-saving as well. So shouts to ZaDarius Smith for that, man. Huge, huge, huge. You know, those are the types of stories that you like to hear. So shouts to him. Moving on. Thank the heavens. I don't know when this day was gonna come, but I've been waiting for it. The Pro Bowl is dead. Dead. Thank the basketball or the football gods, whatever you want to call it. Thank the sports gods. Why did we have a Pro Bowl in the first place? You can't have a Pro Bowl in a sport that's high contact, that's so physical. You can't play football. And if you were going to do it, you was going to do some flag football. So it just never made sense to be able to have a soft as hell Pro Bowl all-star game. First off, it's at the end of the season. Nobody cares. When it should be in the middle of the season. And on top of that, you can't have a half-ass game. I always said that the Pro Bowl should be something that's like a like a skills thing, right? It should always just be like a skills challenge, whether it's a 40, 40, like the fastest person in the league, the guy that has the highest vertical or whatever the hell it is. Like it should just be like events that they do. And they kind of did that, right? But it just doesn't have the same oomph to it because you put it at the end of the season before the Super Bowl or after the Super Bowl, however they do it. It's not exciting. There's a reason why there's a Midsummer Classic for baseball and All-Star Weekend for basketball. Like, you need to put it in a way where you're forcing your audience to be able to watch it and be interested in it. Once the season is over, nobody gives a shit. And then you have all of these like replacements. Oh, this guy's gone. You got to replace him with this. Like, how is this dude even a Pro Bowler? Like, how is he even on the list as a replacement? So now he got that on his resume as he's Pro Bowler. It don't make sense. Now, if they want to do something that's like cool in the middle of the season, they can have like like an award show or like a selection Sunday type of thing where you do it on halftime and you just select guys that are just Pro Bowlers, and it can have some type of monetary value to it or some type of contract situation. You can do something like that for it to just be a nod that you're this. You're one of the best players with have one of the best first halves of the season or whatever it is. Like, I don't know, come up with something like that. But in regards to like a physical game, we don't need that shit. We never wanted it. I can't tell you all of these years watching football, I couldn't tell you how many Pro Bowls I've watched. I haven't missed a Super Bowl. I haven't missed an opening game. I haven't missed any of that stuff. But a Pro Bowl, I'd rather watch Rock and Jock. I'd rather watch celebrity basketball. I'd rather watch celebrity softball. I'd rather watch celebrity bowling than the fucking Pro Bowl. Nobody cares. And I'm glad they shot it in the head. Put it in a tarp and throw it somewhere and never open it again. I don't want any commissioner or any type of, competitive games body, whatever committee they got to be able to say, I know how to fix the Pro Bowl. Fire him. Instant fire. You get out. We don't want to hear those words no more. No Pro Bowl. We're done. Kill it and leave it dead. So shouts to the NFL for finally putting the Pro Bowl out of its misery. We applaud it. We love it. Thank you very much. Because it served zero purpose. Moving on to irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? I mean, yeah, they stink.
Every week we go ahead and we go over the news. First news here. Texas dad sells his company for $51 million to build a free amusement park for people with special needs. This is a great story. You have guys out there that, they're superheroes and they don't wear capes, man. To have a special needs child, it means that you might have a lifetime of taking care of that kid. You might have a lifetime of having to be there for their every moment because they're not able to, live on their own or do things for themselves. So for this particular father to have the resources to be able to have a business and then sell that business, and then now he wants to go ahead and have a theme park for special needs people. Free. Shouts to this dude, man. Like I said, most superheroes, they don't wear capes. Moving on. Definitely want to give a big shout out to Tim Curry. Tim Curry passing. What a rough week, man. What a rough week for a lot of celebrities out there that are just they're no longer here. Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, gone. Dolly Parton, she's gone. Michael Wright, like there's so many people that have passed, and it's just like it puts things into perspective for us, man. Like, live while you're here and don't hold things off for tomorrow. Like, live your best life. Like Dolly Parton, there's nobody right now that is happy that Dolly Parton is gone, because she's somebody that did so much for the underprivileged and inner city kids, black, brown, whatever walk of life you were, Dolly Parton fucked with you. You know what I'm saying? Like when she sung "I Will Always Love You" and Whitney Houston did it again, you know, she covered it and it blew up. And she was so proud of that. And she took the publishing money to be able to open up this like strip mall right there in Nashville, like right there in the black community, because she was like, yo, this is the house that Whitney built. I got to give back. Her imagination library, you know what I mean? That gave millions of books to kids for free. You know, her country singing career that, you know, how many, you know, awards she won for that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Dolly Parton was just a gem, man. And same thing with Tim Curry. Like Tim Curry got that big stroke back in 2012, and that really took him away, you know, from like being an actor and being a performer. Like he was wheelchair bound and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, such a great actor. I remember, you know, he was Pennywise. I remember him from the movie Clue, Home Alone. You know, there's so many great roles that he had, man. You know what I mean? It's just, this is a dude that he'll never be forgotten in regards to how much of an artist he was and how funny he was. You know what I mean? Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, the voice of so many people's childhoods. You know what I'm saying? The movies, like, you know, it just puts things in perspective, makes you be like, God, man, I'm getting old. You know what I mean? So definitely just want to give a shout out to those people, man. Like the black community, we mourn for Dolly Parton. You know what I'm saying? Not only was she beautiful on the outside, but beautiful on the inside too. Like if Mother Teresa was bad, it would be Dolly Parton. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's sad that we have to lose people like her and Tim Curry, Peter Cullen, and so many others. But yet there's this other, you know what, never mind. That is all for irrelevant news.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? I mean, yeah, they stink.
Moving on to the NBA. Not many stories in the NBA, but saw a video on Kyle Singler, man, and it broke my heart. Like, you know, Kyle Singler, former NBA player, former Duke great. You know, he's been battling depression and all this other stuff for a very long time, man. And you know, he had a video out there, and you know, I just want this guy to get the help that he needs. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna play a little snippet of it, but you know, the whole video is just really sad, man. And you know, it's heartbreaking to watch.
Send me out, man. I have no power and I have no house. I've reached out to coach and everybody has turned the other way. I've reached out to coach and he has fully dismissed the message. You guys are cutting my power off. breaking into my house, stealing money, ruining my life. Reached out to Coach K, and all he did is sit me on the bench. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play anymore, man. Again, this is a guy that one of the best Duke players of all time, ended up being a pretty decent NBA player as well. And is just really having a hard time. And I hope people can be able to just like take their internet brain off for a while, like just turn that down, turn the jokes down, and really look at a guy that is out there struggling, man, that needs help, that needs to be, taken care of. I don't know if he needs to be in a facility or he just needs somebody that can be able to take care of him and watch out for him and look out for him and stuff like that. Like, you hate to see this with people. And the fact that he's reaching out to Coach K, I hope Coach K is not turning his back on this guy and can be able to try to help him. Like, look at the Delonte West. Delonte West, for years, people were trying to get him to rehab and help him out with this and that. And, it got to a point where, he went to go help himself, and now he's clean, right? And turning his life around. I think he's about to start a pod, like, or streaming, whatever it is. Like, for a guy that was living on the street for that long to be able to find hope in life again, man, like, there's hope for Kyle Singler as well. I don't want to see him like this. I don't want to see him struggling and doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really hard to watch, man. And I don't like that. I don't like that for anybody. And I don't like that for even people that I dislike, much less people that I like. And I had a admiration for in regards to their basketball play, how they played on the court, how hard they played. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, man. And I'm hoping that he can be able to get some help. Moving on. Lonzo Ball was talking to Michael Porter Jr. on the pod, and Michael Porter Jr. asked Lonzo about, the shoes and him being in the league. And, Lonzo was very, very candid about him not being able to break away from his father early on. And the regret that he had was not being his own man when he got into the league to be able to make decisions for himself. He said that when he went to New Orleans is when he really like became a man and started making his own decision. When he had his child, like, that really put things in perspective for him. But before that, it was tough for him. So let's go ahead and just play this clip here.
What was your kind of structure when you got like real bread?
I had no structure, bro. I literally was just hooping and following my pops, listening to my pops. Like, we had the brand and shit going. Like, all I remember is summer league, the shit happened with the shoes, and then boom, Demos ran to Foot Locker, bought 4 different pairs of shoes from all the different brands, wore that shit. That shit was crazy. But like, I never went to any Nike deal, no Adidas deal. Like, I never heard no offers or nothing. Like, I was not a part of none of that shit. So
You was rocking a BBB.
yeah, bro, I was just doing what I was told, really. And like, I guess that would be my one regret, like taking control of my career earlier. But really, I was just following my pops, bro, and just doing what I was told, and that was it, bro. So
Yep.
So like I said, he was just doing what he was told, and he's gonna go into detail about like the shoes and all that other stuff too. But it's hard to be a young guy and look up to your father and know that he has your best interests at heart. But at the same time, it's like, yo, I'm an adult. I'm in a league now. Like, I want to do things on my own. You know what I'm saying? And he talks about how there was pressure. I'll
touch on that later, actually. So in college, you were not wearing the
in
BBB.
college, we were Adidas. I was wearing James Harden shoes.
Okay, so
I
then
like this shit.
You obviously go to the NBA, and the BBB, the brand, is going crazy, and your pops is kind of influencing you to wear the brand.
Yeah.
And you try the shoes and whatever. Like, how are you feeling? Like, because at the end of the day, like, you get drafted to the NBA, you're a millionaire, you're a grown man, but your pops, who's influenced your whole life, You got the brand thing going. You want to rep the family name. Like, did you actually like the shoes, or did you just feel like you wanted to support the fam?
I mean, shit, I was torn, bro, because one, yeah, you living a grown man life, but at the end of the day, you're only 19 years old. You feel me? And the way I was raised was like a blessing and a curse, if you will, because like I never really broke away from my pops. Like I always looked at him as a leader of the house. You feel me? So I always looked up to him. I was told look after my brothers. So that's how the chain went. So I felt like when I had gotten drafted, I was just doing that, you know, listening to my pops, you know, doing this and that, and that's what it was. But if I can go back, I would obviously do it different. I would actually, you know, get an agent, you know, be in the meetings myself, you know, do what I want to do. But to answer your question, it was like I didn't like the shoes. I addressed I didn't like the shoes, but then we would get into an argument and it would be like, damn, like if you don't wear the shoes, then like you're going against the family type shit. And I was like,
that right there, like, right? Lonzo had the pressure of trying to make it for everybody else. Because think about Melo. Melo didn't have that pressure. Melo came in, he'd be able to get his Puma deal and do all that stuff. But Lonzo was forced to wear them bum ass sneakers. Now, I love the fact that Lavar wanted to push the brand and have his own brand and be independent from all of those big labels. That there's nothing wrong with that. But your ambition and your drive and your stubbornness kind of derailed your son's career too, because he talked about not liking the shoes, y'all getting into an argument. He don't want to have no beef with his pop, so he goes ahead and puts on the shoes, and they're prototypes. They weren't tested. They weren't going through different, you know, variations of the shoe to be able to go through R&D and try to really figure out and hone the shoe. They were prototypes, and you put prototypes on his kid's feet that were ripping as he was playing with them, that he had to switch out 4, 5, 6 shoes every so often in a game. Like there was so much risk that you could have put Zoe in, that he could have hurt himself further. He could have had some serious injury. He did have some serious injuries. We don't know if those shoes actually had a factor. I know he talked about it later in the pod that, you know, he's been battling a knee injury from when he was in high school. But who knows if those shoes had an impact? We don't know. We'll never know until he says it himself. And that's all that's his perspective as well. Doesn't have to necessarily be true. But the fact that he never had an agent, he didn't have somebody that, like, not saying that Lavar didn't have his best interest. Of course he did. But the fact that he couldn't have an agent as well as his father to be able to try to figure things out, I just think that he really messed up Lonzo's career early on. You know what I'm saying? And the mistakes that he made with Lonzo, he made sure he didn't make with Melo. Melo's his own man. Melo is very opinionated. Melo's going to do what he's going to do. But Lonzo felt the pressure of the Ball family. He had to be the one to be able to get BBB over the top. He had to be the one to be productive. He had to put everybody else on. He had to make sure that LiAngelo got on, and it, like, all of these it was too much pressure that Lavar put on Lonzo, I believe, and it was just a recipe for disaster. Like it could have been the reason why he wasn't as productive in LA. And then when he goes to New Orleans, like, he starts to become his own man again. You know what I'm saying? Like, really start to step into his own. So it's just one of those things, man. Like, it's unfortunate, but parents do this to their kids all the time. This happens all the time when you see the dynamic where the parents want the kids to succeed and want the family to succeed, but there's too much pressure on the kid, and you create resentment there. You create resentment, you create animosity, you create things that you can't, like, get over. It looks like him and Lonzo have a great relationship because Lonzo is that type of guy, but, you know, it could have went left. I'm sure at times it did go left. You know what I mean?
When you signed your big deal, what was your, like, goal? Was, because some players are like, okay, I'm going to spend all my marketing,
doing this and that, and that's what it was. But if I can go back, I would obviously do it different.
Actually reminds me of that,
it was like
Michael
a clip of that
Jackson
too.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that Michael movie.
The new one?
The new one.
Yeah, I seen it.
Where it's like he loved his pops, he loved his family, but he got so big and he got to the age where it's like
with the tour.
Do I keep listening to pops or do I like that had to feel a little uncomfortable. Like, I know what for me, because I love my dad. My dad's the reason I'm in the position I'm in. So like without my dad, I'm not even. So to go, that was it like uncomfortable at all for you?
Yeah, bro. It was a fucked up place to be in, honestly, to be honest with you. But I really didn't break away from my pops until like, and I don't want to say break away because I still fuck with my dad, obviously, but like, you know, get from under his umbrella until I went to New Orleans, bro. Between New Orleans and having Zoe, like those two things that catapulted me into, you know, my next phase of life, I feel like, and finally that's when I felt like I was my own man. Like I didn't look to him for help or nothing like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's when I looked at myself like, okay, I'm on my own too. And, you know, even if we fight or whatever, we're going to come back, you know, at the end, and it's always going to be love. And that's just how we rocked it, man.
I don't remember specifically what happened at Summer League. Was it that you like the shoe broke?
Bro, it was like the shoe wasn't it wasn't ready to be. It wasn't a basketball shoe, bro. Like it wasn't ready to be used. So I tried to play in it, but like they would like rip and pop out like every quarter. So like I had Demo had like backup shoes in his backpack that he would give me, you know, right over the bench and shit if they would blow out and shit like that. But I'm like, I can't play like this, bro.
Yeah.
And right when I changed my shoes, then I started playing great again. You feel me?
That's crazy.
And then
that right there, man. I mean, like, you know, growing pains as a parent, growing pains as a young man trying to find his way. It just, you know, I just wish that Lavar would have took the time to be able to get the right shoe, and I'm sure he could have been able to get Big Baller Brand over with Lonzo. But dumb bullshits that you put on his feet, man, like you could have literally put your son at risk to be able to break an ankle or, you know, tear an ACL or whatever it is because he's wearing shoes that are literally ripping off his feet just for you to be able to solidify a brand. Like it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it at the end of the day. But like I said, he made mistakes. He's not making those with Melo, and Lonzo hopefully can be able to restart his career, man, and be able to get it going. So, you know, shouts to Lonzo. Love the candidness about the interview. Kept it real. And like I said, I don't know if the shoes had a factor in, you know, the erosion of his body, of his knees, whatever it is. But, you know, I don't think that it helped. It couldn't have helped. You know what I'm saying? Like him getting an agent would have been so much better for him, man. But, you know, let's see how the kid bounced back, man. Hopefully he can be able to resurrect his career and have a bounce back so he can be able to have some type of semblance of a career. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. MLB stuff. I was going to talk about Enes Kanter, but why? I am not going to give Enes Kanter no type of energy on this show. He's a clown. People who support Enes Kanter, they're fucking clowns. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's protecting women in basketball. Shut up. Just shut up. Like, I'm done with y'all stupid ass takes, with your stupid ass opinions, when this shit is not, it's a non-issue. It's a non-story. Just stop. Fucking clowns. Moving on. Major League Baseball wants to have a free agency like the NFL, like the NBA. I kind of like that idea. So they're going to, here's a proposal. It says Major League Baseball has proposed a 3-week free agent signing window in December, sources confirmed to ESPN, as part of a plan to generate an offseason transaction frenzy similar to those in the NFL and the NBA. MLB wants free agency to officially begin the Monday of the winter meetings, which takes place in early December. The window to sign players will close on December 21st and then reopen on the first Monday in February before spring training starts. There also would be a ban on all trades during the gap between those proposed free agent periods. Teams would still be able to negotiate with players starting 5 days after the conclusion of the World Series, but agreements could not be finalized until the winter meetings. The proposal comes as part of negotiations for a new CBA. It's the only as part of the salary cap system which Major League Baseball has previously expressed. So I like the idea of a free agent frenzy. I don't know if I like the start and stop period of, okay, December, the first day of winter meetings, 3 weeks, December 21st, and then you can't do anything until February 1st. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I think you can be able to table it and maybe start it again, maybe like mid-January, I guess. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure that there's room to tinker with it, but I do love the idea of a period, right? Because, free agency for Major League Baseball, it's really just like it's so long, right? It's so dragged out. It's so like when you're now forced to try to make deals in a certain window, you're going to have better things happen, man. Like people are going to be scheduling their visits early on. They're going to bang these out. Boom, boom. I got these visits here. Like now you got pressure. You have rumors flying around. You got teams. They have to make decisions within these 3 weeks. Like you can't really hold free agency hostage. You know what I'm saying? Other players that want to wait until they have to, well, now you got to wait until February or whatever it is. I like that because now it gives urgency to free agency. It makes for big splashes. It makes for huge blockbuster moves to be able to happen where people are just like, holy crap. Like I remember when Juan Soto got signed, I think it was day 1 or day 2 of winter meetings or whatever it was. It was huge. But could you imagine if this was like a thing where big deals like that happen within a few days of the winter meeting starting? Like that's the way it's supposed to be. And you have a 3-week window where trades are being made, deals are being done, interviews are being had, teams are flying out to this person, or everybody's at the winter meetings and they're just negotiating, discussing, their agents are there. Like that to me sounds amazing. So if they can be able to figure it out, if the players union likes this, which I don't think that they won't like it, they just have to kind of figure out how the time frames are going to work. If that time frame works, so they may have to extend it instead of being 3 weeks, maybe you just extend it a month and just keep it within that month, and that's fine. But it's not a bad idea at all. It's not a bad idea at all. It really isn't. It's something that I think baseball needs. I think it's something that can be able to help the offseason with baseball. And I don't see a negative here. I don't see a negative here. There's negatives and other stuff. I don't see a negative here at all. You know what I'm saying? So like the proposal from Major League Baseball, let's see what the union does. And hopefully we have baseball next year. You know what I mean? I am more confident as the time goes on that they're going to figure this out. I think the owners realize that they can't get a fucking salary cap. They won't get a salary cap from the players. The players are not going to agree to a salary cap. It's not going to fucking happen. You know what I mean? So let's see. And with the whole Mark Walters situation going on, that crook, you know what I'm saying? Him over here trying to borrow money or trying to get money from Steve Cohen's investment firm. Like, come on, dog. Like, don't worry about Cohen and the Cohen tax. You need to be worrying about Crook Boy over there, Crook Walter, and what the hell he was trying to do with the Dodgers. Him not having no goddamn money, broke as hell, and trying to keep this team afloat. That's what you need to worry about. So if you can be able to figure that out and close up some loopholes for these bum ass dudes that ain't got no money that's trying to, stay above water, then we can be able to, I think, have a season and be fine. Because a lot of these owners like to cry foul, like they ain't got no money. They got money. They just don't want to spend it in the team. They don't want to reinvest it in the team. Sometimes you might have to be forced to do so. So, we'll see what happens. Where we at? Dummy of the week.
Dummy, yeah.
Who is my dummy of the week? There's only one. It's the New York Mets. The New York Mets are my dummy. Yeah. And it's not even the players on the field. It's not the announce booth. It's not the fans. It is SNY. SNY gets the big dummy. Yeah. Because bases loaded, Jeffrey Yon, well, I think was it the 9th or the 10th, whatever inning it was. And big spot, you got everybody who's a Mets fan who's not in the damn ballpark at home watching this game, pacing around, nervous as hell. Oh my God, Jeffrey Yon's gonna blow this game. What the hell's going on, right? And Jeffrey Yon pitches it like the laser shot. Looks like it's gonna go over Lindor's head, and Lindor stretches out. And right before he catches it, it goes black. The screen goes black. They have a blackout in the game. Are you kidding me? Every Mets fan that was home had a heart attack. I'm sure if you was 85, 90 years old watching the Mets game, you are at the pearly gates right now. There's no way in hell you are not at the pearly gates right now, because at the end of the day, like, how do you have a blackout in that situation? And then once it comes back, Lindor is running off the field and Jeffrey Yon's excited. You don't even get to see the play. You have to see no replay. Cable is the worst. The absolute worst with these blackouts, with these whatever it is. Like, try to get this straight. This is 2026. Get it together. There's no reason why you should have blackouts, why you should have these terrible dead spots in a game where you can't get the action. How is that possible? It's like typical of being a Mets fan. That's the season for us. We're holding on to with bated breath. We're excited to see what the hell's gonna happen, and somebody knocks us in the head. Blackout. That's what it felt like. That's what the whole season has felt like. So SNY, get it together. I ain't got no problem with the fans. I ain't got no problem with the players. I ain't got no problem with the commentary booth. I ain't got no problem with the concession people. No one. But SNY got smoke for whoever's in that truck. All of y'all need to have a meeting, and y'all all need to be talked to sternly, aggressively. Come on now, get it together. That is all for this show. That is all for Dummy of the Week. Dummy, yeah. Like I said, man, thoughts and prayers go out to Tim Curry's family, Dolly Parton's family, Peter Cullen's family, Wright family, everybody out there. We've lost some great talents, whether they're comedians, just method actors. It's just a sign of the times, man. As we get older, they get older, and we kind of take them for granted sometimes. That we see them all the time, and we're just like, they'll be there. Like Tim Curry. There's an interview I saw that he was just like, I'm not running towards death, but I'll embrace it if it comes. Like I'm okay with it. I mean, I don't want it to come yet, but I think it'd be very comforting when it does. And sometimes, you get these messages from people where it's just like, they might be ready. They might be ready to transition. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was the case for him, but he was just such a great talent. Like I said, man, like there was nothing that I didn't watch with Tim Curry that I didn't laugh, that I didn't get something from, that I wasn't scared or whatever it was. Like, he was such a great actor that any role that he was in, you felt it. You felt the talent. You knew exactly that he understood his role, whether it be the comedy relief or whether to be to scare the daylights out of you. Tim Curry was the man. And Dolly Parton, what more can I say about her? Like, she was the best of us. From the black community, everybody in the black community loves Dolly Parton. I grew up loving Dolly Parton, watching 9 to 5. It's one of my favorite movies. You know what I mean? Growing up listening to I Will Always Love You in the house. And then when the Whitney Houston version came out, when she covered that, you know, Mom Dude stopped playing the Dolly Parton version because like, oh, Whitney bad, Whitney's better. But I grew up listening to that song. You know what I mean? I grew up listening to Jolene and all these other songs. Like I grew up in a house that played country music all the time. So, you know, having her a part of our life for so long, right? Dolly Parton's been around for so long to the point where it's just like, there's no more Dolly? Like, what? You know, the state of Tennessee, they'll never be the same. You know, she needs to have a statue erect somewhere. So, Dolly, we love you. Black community loves you. Peter Cullen, we love you. The voice of Optimus Prime will never be duplicated. They need to just put your voice in AI and just keep it going because can't nobody else do that. Tim Curry, like I said, man, it is what it is. Until next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.
Every win, every loss, every second got a cost to be the boss. Late nights, pressure heavy, never fold. Championship mindset, heart made of purple and gold.